Jesse and they do a good job. It was a lot better than my sister had her bike done. Matter of fact, she's bringing her back over here to have it redone. Give you a fair price, and he does what he says he'll do.
What's going on, guys? Jesse at Humble Crew Auto Spa, and today we've got a really cool project. This is a brand new Harley Tri Glide. So this is the trike, right? Our client is bringing it to us for paint protection film. I mean, this is a very expensive vehicle, and he wants to ride it across country. He wants to actually use this trike to explore the nation and just have a great time. And so our client is bringing it to us today for some paint protection film. So the areas we're going to be covering are this front fairing here. You can see we've taken off the windscreen. We're going to tuck the film underneath there. The front fender, these kind of radiator, painted radiator guard areas as well. And then these side pieces here. So we're going to be covering this piece, that piece, and also this piece right here. So we're going to be covering all of that in paint protection film. Our client is going to have us do a ceramic coating as well. He wants that next gen ceramic coating so that bug guts, bird poop, tree sap, that kind of stuff doesn't really stick to the trike, and his bike will stay really, really pretty as he uses it. The best part is that next gen is quite non-stick, so this trike, even through a lot of bad weather, like the stuff we're having today, if you look outside, it is raining pretty good, but if he were to ride through even this weather, the trike would stay pretty clean. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and hop straight into it. We've already started with a great wash and we pulled it in, but just for document's sake, I will show you what we did to prep this trike prior to us laying paint protection film. So first and foremost, we got to start out with a great prep wash. With our washes, we start out with a 3-bucket wash. That's 2 buckets for paint, 1 for wheels and tires, and it's really important to do it this way. The wheels and tires of this vehicle are the dirtiest area of the entire thing, and you don't want any of your tools that are used for wheels and tires to touch the paint, because in doing so, you risk scratching that delicate finish. We wash the paint using a 2-bucket method, which means 1 bucket for wash, 1 bucket for rinse. Now, these buckets are really important because it allows us to trap dirt at the bottom of the bucket as opposed to being stuck in our mitt. So as we wash the vehicle, this is the safest way to wash the paint without installing any new scratches or swirl marks. And it's also a really good way to get a very thorough and even clean. When we're doing a 2-bucket wash, we'll be rinsing out the mitt every other panel, right? Depending on how dirty the car is. Because this car is in pretty good shape, you can go a little bit further, but the whole time we're doing it, we're constantly touching and feeling the paint, making sure there's not a bunch of dirt or grime or even grit that we're feeling as we wash. And so this is really important to be mindful as we wash this vehicle. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the decontamination part of this wash. Decontamination includes things like a clay bar. The clay bar goes in and physically removes a lot of these contaminants that are embedded in the paint. This step is really important because those contaminants don't come out. It's really important to dissolve those chemicals out of the paint, rinse it off so that we have a clean slate to work on once we're done. Today we'll be using Core software to cut out the plot for the Tri Glide. So if you look here, we've got like the front fender. These are the fender fairings. If you go to the other one, the other sheet we have, these are the rear fenders as well as the front fairing, all of this right here. So we cut all of this out so it's really accurate. We also, you see these little dotted lines here, we delete a lot of these cutouts for sensors and lights. We prefer to trim them by hand so that the plot is really accurate. And by deleting these sensors, we are able to get almost perfect alignment, especially as we stretch this fairing across that curved edge. Sometimes these sensors can be really tedious to line up, so we just delete it, we lay it in bulk, and then we'll trim it by hand later. We also pair it with other pieces of PPF we're cutting. So this big piece right here, this is the rear bumper for a BMW 240 that our client wanted us to wrap. So since we're cutting out a bunch of other pieces for the Tri Glide anyway, it makes a lot of sense to cut the
bumper with it as well, so we don't want to waste any film. So this is right here is a 60 by 50 sheet, 60 inches by 50 feet. So this is not 50 feet, but that's the way it's cutting out, is on a 50 feet roll, right? So 60 inches across this way, and this is how we're going to be cutting it. So 2 pieces here for the Tri Glide. We're going to go ahead and cut, and we'll get started installing.
So all of our great paint protection film and ceramic coatings start with good prep. Now that all of the paint protection film has been laid onto the hood, it's time to trim. And this is going to allow us to tuck all of our film. Tucked film is fantastic for 2 major reasons. First and foremost, it looks seamless, and that's what you want from paint protection film. You don't want it to be obvious that your car is covered in this protective material. So in order to do that, we're going to tuck all these edges, and so the tucked edge is literally invisible, but more importantly than just looking pretty, when your edges are tucked this way, the film is far less likely to catch and lift, giving you better durability over time. The slip solution that you're seeing underneath literally is soapy water. It's soap and water that we use. The reason why this is really important is that this solution allows us to maneuver the film prior to us locking it in. So we can get the film where it needs to go, and then once it looks good, we squeegee it shut, and bam, it is good. So paint protection film is designed for physical durability, right? Rock chips, scratches, swirl marks, things of that nature. But ceramic coatings are designed for chemical resistance. So that specifically means bird poop, bug guts, tree sap, and also dirt and grime. So film, because it's very flexible and very porous, it can stain pretty easily over time. Ceramic coatings will come in on top of that, seal it in, and protect it from staining. We install a product called NextZen Elite, and this type of coating is actually extremely flexible. That's its strong point. It's super flexible. The flexibility of the coating is really great for a couple of major reasons. First and foremost, it doesn't negate the effects of PPFs, especially when it comes to self-healing. So that's a huge win right there. But its flexibility also means that it doesn't really water spot quite as easily, doesn't stain as easily over a long period of time. Because the coating is so flexible, it can expand and contrast with the car being exposed to different temperatures, different elements, right? And that ability to stay flexible allows it to mitigate any type of microfracturing that happens with super hard coatings. On the paint, right, or the paint protection film, NextZen is fantastic because not only is it very flexible and consistent in its performance, but it's also tailored specifically for chemical resistance. So that means bird poop and bug guts and tree sap, those type of things have a much harder time staining treated surfaces with NextZen. With this coating, our client can rest easy knowing that his car doesn't stain, it stays easy to clean, and the cherry on top is, wow, it really does look quite good. When wheels and paint are all ceramic coated, the major benefit is that it's easy to clean because things don't stick. Its extreme non-stick features effectively mean that these wheels don't really get quite as dirty. Because it's so non-stick, the brake dust doesn't really embed itself quite as hard, which means that when it's time to clean, it cleans off really easily. And there you guys have it. That is full front end and then some for paint protection film, whole trike ceramic coated, and this Harley is ready to go. With that ceramic coating, this bike is going to stay fantastic. With the paint protection film, the owner can ride easy knowing that, hey, this bike is fully protected from rock chips, scratches, and swirl marks, all that kind of jazz as well. So if you come over here and look at the install itself, I'm very, very happy with my team's work. If you look at it, the seams here, because we had to do this top fairing in 3 pieces, the seams are very tight. That's what I want to see here, like almost nothing, right? Looks super good. Even the front right here, we were able to get full coverage in 3 pieces as well. So a lot of seams in this thing because, again, it's really hard to do it in 1 piece, but gosh, it turned out so dang good. And more importantly, when installed this way, it's a lot more durable as well. I could try to be a hero on Instagram, try to get it in 1 piece, but there's no guaranteeing that that's not going to just lift and look terrible. But when you seam it this way, the film is significantly less stressed, which means that this install is going to last way longer. And so with that, paired with the ceramic coating, this trike is ready to go. So if you've got an expensive motorcycle or a trike or anything like that and you want to seal it in the best, consider doing paint protection film and a ceramic coating. These trikes and motorcycles get very expensive, and so you don't want to ever have to repaint anything on this, and so paint protection film and ceramic coatings are the way to go. It's Jesse at Humble Crew Auto Spa, signing out.
If you go online, subscribe to Humble Crew.